Well, I'll add to that. There, because it took so long, there's now the added weight of responsibility that I feel personally with this being Buddy Duress's last film, that I
Oh
can't
yeah,
I can't
rest in
deliver
peace.
anything that's going to be subpar or, you know, disparaging to his acting career. I really gotta make sure that this is bulletproof. And I feel like the version that exists right now is that. So there, you know, there's that, and it's kind of a sad thing with that. And then also there's other actors that have experienced tragedies and everything else that have been in the film in the years since. And you know, it's a great reason for never taking 4 years to do a film, is you don't know what the future is gonna unfold with and what kind of new context is gonna be added to the project that you're working on.
What was it like working with him, and how did he get involved?
I met Buddy in late 2022. I wrote the role in the script of the primary missing boy's older brother with him in mind in 2019. And then I found out, oh, he robbed a bank and he's in Rikers now. Or where they actually didn't put him in Rikers. I think they put him upstate. And so I was like, all right, there goes that idea. And then we shot the movie. And in 2022, somehow, you know, I previewed a version of the film to some people who were in the cast and crew. And I was like, here's what it looks like so far. I think we're missing some elements here. And I went back to the script and I was like, okay, we have this brother character we never shot anything with. It's just kind of a deleted scene in the script. What if I rework this? What if we do something with this? And then I had the idea of, all right, well, it's been a while since 2019. You don't get that long for, I don't think he was armed, unarmed bank robbery. Let me see if he's out of prison. And he wasn't out of prison yet, but I found his real name and I wrote him in prison. And I was like, Buddy, not, but his real name, Michael Stathis. You know, I was a big fan of yours in Good Time and Private Chat and all these great films, great independent films in New York that he wound up doing. I have this script. I wrote this character with you in mind. I'd love to talk about it when you get out of prison, if possible. And he wrote me back pretty quick. We're doing a system called JPay, which is like an email to letter that they send the inmates. And we communicated a lot through there. And then all correspondence dried up suddenly. I was like, all right, well, there goes that. And then on New Year's Eve, 2022, I get a text message out of the blue from just some random number that said, hey, Jay, I'm out of prison. Let's link up. Let's talk. And it was Buddy. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. 2023 is going to be off to a banger start. Or sorry, no, it wasn't 2023. It was 2021 into 2022. So I was like, wow, okay, this is going to be exciting. And as it turned out, Buddy and his family lived 10 minutes from me. So I literally just walked up the street and I was like, oh, hey, Buddy. And he didn't look like Buddy Duress from the movies. He had a bit of weight on him from prison. He had a beard and everything. I was like, all right, this is new Buddy Duress. We have to get rid of this. We got to get you back to your filming condition. And he was a really sweet, down-to-earth guy who shared a lot of very interesting stories. He seemed kind of shy at first, seemed kind of nervous, which is I did not expect. You watch him in any movie, he's this big, loud, extravagant New York character. And then by the second time I met him, he was more that version. So as we got deeper into production, that Buddy came out and it was very clear, oh, the guy in the movies is actually the real guy. And that's also what was his downfall with the bank robbery, because Good Time is based on his prison journals and his ideas. And they used that for the film. And he was telling me all about this. I was like, that's insane. So like the masks and everything, and then the whole, and it played out the same exact, and he falls down like he fell down in the movie. It's this weird mirroring of that film and what actually happened. So we shot with Buddy in, I think it was January of 2022. And I had a very kind of light friendship with Buddy. His world was just totally different from mine. And we fell out of contact. I found out we fell out of contact because he was arrested something like 17 times over 2022 for petty crimes. And they kept throwing him out. We got in touch again to shoot more with Buddy in December of 2022. So almost a whole year later. And he was like, I'm down to do it. I got to give you a heads up. I've lost a bunch of weight. I was like, okay. And Buddy was kind of beefy. You're going to see it in the movie. I took for granted how much weight he lost because when he sent me a picture, I was like, oh, fuck. This is Buddy from all of these movies that you remember. So we have Buddy at like 190 pounds, which he was kind of a shorter guy. So that was notable. And then we have Buddy at like 120 pounds. And that is very stark difference. So I said, all right, Buddy, here's what we're going to do. You're going to play two characters in the movie now and keep your beard. Keep your beard this time. So he plays the older brother of the missing boy. And then he also plays the roommate / current boyfriend of the missing boy to try and give some, you know, little connective tissue.
That's going to be interesting. Damn.
And at the same time, too, so his character when he's playing the older brothers is a bruiser named Ivan Amari. And half of that takes place in prison. Half of that is a flashback in time because he's like the first suspect that comes to my character Rathke's mind of, okay, it was probably somebody close to Justin. Let's go to the older brother. The older brother's got a track record of violent crimes. And he's kind of heavy there. He's wearing a leather jacket. He looks very Italian, although he was Greek. And then we meet the roommate. And the roommate is very skinny, looks a hell of a lot older. Buddy was looking pretty rough during the later times that I had met him. And I had him keep the beard, had him keep his glasses that he had to make it as distinguished as possible, these two versions. And then I also became obsessed with the unmade Jerry Lewis film, The Day the Clown Cried. And so I was like, you know what we're going to do too? We're going to make this character, the roommate character, and his part-time, he's a clown. And so I'm going to interview you as Rathke as a clown. And we recreated Jerry Lewis's makeup on him for that character. And I think he looks fantastic in the movie with that. And it's just a thing, you know, just kind of spur of the moment. Like, yeah, I want to see you as a clown. So you're going to be a clown today. And I got a picture here of me and him at the wrap. And, you know, the face paint that he put on, you needed a makeup wipe to take it off. And I didn't. He just ran off to the bathroom as soon as we finished. I was like, you can't do that. Don't put water. And then you see his face when he was like leaving. And it was just like, he tried to wash it off using water and soap. And what it did was it blended it in even more. And so he looked like, you know, not to be ethnically offensive, he looked like one of the African tribes, you know, where they spread the white makeup on and his eyebrows looked all white. And it was just like this very crazy version of Buddy Duress. And then we had a PA who was responsible for bringing him back to Queens. And Buddy was just like, hey, can I take this bottle of, I think it was like Jack Daniels or something. It's like 11 in the morning. Hey, can I take this bottle of Jack Daniels? I was like, you know what, buddy? Merry Christmas. You take that bottle of Jack Daniels and enjoy. And the PA, he told the PA about midway en route to Queens, actually, hey, can we go to the Bronx? Can we just go to the Bronx? Which is like terrible and crime. And the word from the PA was, you know, he was in such a, and he was like drinking the bottle in the passenger seat, and he got out of the car and then he smashed the bottle on the ground outside of this very shady looking house. And was like, Happy New Year to the guy, and just walked off. And it was an experience for that PA that day.